Chapter 39. A good general must be able to take advantage of an opportune time, to seize on a favorable situation, and to know how to unite the people. He must take defensive measures calmly but attack with vigor. He must be able to survive destruction, make a weak army strong and a frail one tough. He must turn danger into safety and disaster into good fortune. He must be able to adopt limitless changes of strategy and win a war that takes place 1,000 li away. He must give full play to every warrior. Those are the requirements of a good commander. With the help of 1 or 2 advisors, I'll be sure to achieve success. Listening to him, Grand Tutor Wen thought. He may be old, but he's a good commander. Besides, he's loyal. I'll find him 1 or 2 capable advisors that are quick to adapt to new situations as they arise. Maybe Fei Zhang and Yu Han. When they had been summoned, he told them. Zhang Guifang's suffered a defeat and Feng Ling's lost his life. General Lu Xiong will reinforce the front, and you two will go with him as advisors. You'll have served the kingdom well when the army returns to Jiaoge. Frightened, they hastily made excuses. Grand Tutor, as civil officials, we know nothing about war. We'll make disastrous mistakes. Both of you are good at adapting to changing conditions. That is just what the army needs now. You can take care of whatever General Lu Xiong is unable to do. We all must do our best to serve His Majesty. Make no more excuses. Fei Zhang and Yu Han could do nothing but take the seals of appointment. After a farewell feast, Lu Xiang, Fei Zhang, and Johan took 50,000 soldiers, sacrificing an ox and a horse before the great army banner, and marched off to the firing of cannons. The summer weather was so hot that, in their armor, the soldiers found it difficult to move. Both men and horses perspired and panted under the burning sun. The sky was cloudless, and there was not a breath of wind to refresh them. As they left the 5 passes, a patrolman brought Lu Xiang the news that Commander Zhang's been killed and his head's hanging on the east gate of West Qi City. This greatly alarmed Lu Xiang. As Zhang Guifang's already dead, we'd better halt here. He decided and ordered. Camp right here. He asked. What lies in front of us? That's Mount Qi, sir. To escape the heat, he ordered that the army camp in the depths of the forest. He wrote a report to Grand Tutor Wen requesting further instructions. After they had defeated Zhang Guifang, Jiang Ziya withdrew to the city to await further developments. One day, a report came in that a big army had camped at Mount Qi. The report was simple, but Jiang Ziya understood the situation immediately. A few days before, Bai Jian reported to him that the Terrace of Creation had been completed. A sacrificial ceremony was required to honor the arrival of the list of creations. Jiang Ziya ordered. Nangong Kuo and Wu Ti. Take 5,000 soldiers and camp at Mount Qi. Block all communications and allow no troops to pass through. Nangong Kuo and Wu Ji carried out the order at once. At Mount Qi, they came upon the Shang army and camped directly opposite. But the weather was extremely hot, and they soon found it unbearable. Prime Minister ordered us to camp here, but there's no drinking water and there are no trees to provide shade. The men are bound to grumble. Wu Ji said to Nangong Kuo. The next day, General Xing Jia arrived with an order from Jiang Ziya. The camp must be moved to the summit of Mount Qi immediately. Both Nangong and Wu Ji were astonished. In such unbearable heat, we'll only die more quickly if we follow this order. You've got no choice. You cannot disobey an order. Xing Jia whammed. Marching up the mountain, the Zhou soldiers gasped painfully in the heat. There was no water on the mountain for either cooking or drinking. Everyone began to complain. The Shang soldiers laughed heartily when they saw them camp on top of the mountain. In this heat, they'll be dead in 3 days without even a fight. Lu Xiang did nothing but wait. The following day, Jiang Ziya took 3,000 soldiers to Mount Qi. He was met by Nangong Kuo and Wu Ji, at the foot of the mountain and climbed to the summit with them. It was so hot that the leaves of the willows and pines had withered and died, and thirsty birds and beasts had perished. Nevertheless, Jiang Ziya ordered Wu Ji to build a 3-foot-high terrace with all speed. Meanwhile, Xingnian had arrived from the capital with cartloads of supplies. When Jiang Ziya ordered that they be distributed among the soldiers, everyone was puzzled. Each man received a padded cotton jacket and a warm cap. "We'll die if we put them on." At dusk, Wu Ji reported that the terrace had been completed. Jiang Ziya mounted the terrace with his long hair spread over his back and shoulders. He took his sword, bowed toward Mount Kunlun, then recited incantations and sprinkled magic water over the ground. As he muttered his spells, a violent wind swept through the forest, and dust filled the sky, making it difficult for the soldiers to open their eyes. Jiang Ziya was summoning the wind for his own purposes. Lu Xiong was greatly pleased when the wind drove the heat away. When Grand Tutor Wen's army arrives, it'll be fine weather to do battle. His Majesty is blessed by heaven, which has given us a cool wind. Fei Zhang and Yu Hun commented. But the wind blew more and more violently. It blew yellow sand into the air and uprooted big trees. Everyone felt as cold as if it were winter. Jiang Ziya summoned the wind for 3 continuous days, and on the 4th day, heavy snow began to fall. The weather became colder and colder. How can we stand such cold weather in our thin clothes and iron armor? The Shang soldiers groaned. The snow became steadily heavier, now falling in flakes as big as swan feathers. It soon covered the whole land and lay piled in deep drifts on the ground, turning the earth into a silvery white world. It's the 7th month of the year, the hottest season. Where does this heavy snow come from? Never before has this happened. Lu Xiong complained to Fei Zhang and Yu Hun. Lu Xiong was an old man, unable to endure the cold, and even Fei Zhang and Yu Hun found this an unexpected hardship. The whole army was nearly frozen to death, but in the Zhou camp, the soldiers donned their padded jackets and caps and gratefully thanked their prime minister. "What's the depth of the snow now?" Jiang Ziya asked a few days later. "On the summit here, it's about 2 feet, but down there, it must be 4 or 5 feet deep." Wu Ji answered. Jiang Ziya mounted the terrace again. He loosened his hair, took his sword, and began to recite new charms. Soon the snow clouds above them dispersed, and the burning sun reappeared. All the snow on the summit melted and rushed down into the valley in roaring torrents. Then he burned spells written on paper, summoning another great wind. The temperature plummeted once more, and before long, the whole area around Mount Qi was frozen into a solid ocean of ice. Jiang Ziya walked out from his camp with some of his generals and stood on a high place overlooking the enemy camp below. The Shang flags and banners were scattered at random on the ground. Neither guards nor patrols could be seen around the camp. There was no sign of smoke from the kitchens. Jiang Ziya ordered Nangong Kuo and Wu Ji to take 20 armed men, enter the Shang camp, and seize the officers. The 2 generals charged into the Shang camp without meeting any resistance. All about them officers and men were frozen in the ice. They found Lu Xiong, Fei Zhang, and Yu Hun, and took them captive as easily as taking money from a purse. The 3 prisoners were then carried up the mountain to face Jiang Ziya. What became of them? If you want to know, you must read the next chapter.